The UK government just suffered a setback in its attempt to silence Palestine Action. This ruling could have significant implications for freedom of speech and the right to protest. Let's break down what happened and why it matters. The Court of Appeal has decided that a challenge against the government's ban on Palestine Action can proceed. This means the ban, which came into effect on July 5th, will be reviewed by a high court judge next month. The co-founder of Palestine Action, Huda Amori, is at the heart of this legal battle, having won permission for a judicial review earlier this year. But here's where it gets controversial. The government tried to block this review, arguing that Parliament had already established a specific process for appealing such bans. Under terrorism laws, a banned group can request to be deprescribed through a Home Office review, a process that can take months or even longer if it goes to a special court called the Proscribed Organizations Appeal Commission, POAC. Ms. Amori's lawyers argued that this process was unfair given the unique circumstances of the ban and the level of public support for the group. They contended that a faster review by the High Court was necessary. The Lady Chief Justice, Baroness Sue Carr, agreed, stating that Ms. Amori could challenge the initial decision directly rather than waiting for the lengthy POAC process. She noted that a judicial review would offer a quicker means to determine the lawfulness of the ban. The Home Office, while noting the Court of Appeal's decision, has stated that Palestine Action remains a proscribed group and those supporting them will face legal consequences. They emphasize that supporting Palestine and supporting a proscribed terrorist group are distinct. Since the ban, over 2,100 people have been arrested in demonstrations, with 170 charged for allegedly supporting the group, potentially facing up to 6 months in jail. Ms. Amori, however, sees the ruling as a victory, stating that the government's attempt to avoid scrutiny backfired spectacularly. She believes they now have a stronger legal footing heading into the judicial review in November. She also won a second application to expand her case, allowing her to present wider grounds for why the ban is unlawful. And this is the part most people miss. The government's perspective is that Palestine Action has engaged in criminal activities, including damaging national security infrastructure and intimidation. Ms. Amori counters that arresting peaceful protesters is a misuse of counter-terror resources. What do you think? Does this ruling strike a balance between national security and freedom of expression? Do you believe the government's actions are justified, or do you see this as an overreach? Share your thoughts in the comments below.